Alright, so there's probably not a fantastic way to start this, but I am Vash, and welcome to the 1K special. To some of your dismay, I'm not an actual cow, and I'm not a long, blonde-haired anime guy either. However, I do have my fantastic cow- oh, balls. I do have my cow onesie. It's pretty great, and we will kind of go on with questions here. First question is, when did you start playing Warframe? I want to say I started in 2013. I didn't have that great of an experience. I had Loki as my starter frame, so that should give you an idea of how long ago that one was. But basically, I ended up coming back because my brothers wanted me to in balls. I don't remember. It was a couple months before Sacrifice dropped. And then me and my brothers and I, we all ended up kind of grinding it out quite hard over the next few months. And then just kind of went from there. They don't play anymore. I still do. Big sad. When did I start decorating? That was around October of 2019. Anon says, why did you start decorating? Around that time, Thomas, otherwise known as Factory Cow, was a dick, and he kept pestering me to come join this little ghost clan in the Alliance to go and decorate with him because he was lonely. I told him to fuck off quite a bit at first, and then he was like, he eventually got me to. Then I went and tried it, and I fucking hated it. I could not stand it. I tried it that same night that he got me to join the clan, and I was like, dude, I don't want to fucking bother with this ever again anymore. And he was like, no, I get it. But the first day of decorating is usually just learning the shit UI, and give it another try tomorrow and we'll see how it goes. And I was reluctant. I was just like, oh, fuck me. But then I ended up giving it a shot. I did end up liking it, much to my own surprise, but I very much did not like it at first. I fucking hated it. Prior to that, I usually spent my time doing Kuva survivals and just formatting my builds to completion. How did Thomas become one of your best friends? I kind of like decorating. I fucking hated Thomas at first too. The reason why is when I'm in a voice chat with people, I tend to very much dislike retarded or random crinkling noises, or just noise that shouldn't be there to begin with. And Thomas is this whack basket case that just has like this fish jug, and when you pour it, it makes this idiotic bubbling sound. And he loves that thing. He's like, oh, I find it soothing. Oh, yes. Focuses my chi. And then he puts it right up to the mic and he's like, but yeah, so he did that. He and I did not get off on the right foot. But after a whole bunch of other stuff happened, he proved himself to have more than 3 brain cells, contrary to that retarded jug of his. And it ended up growing on me anyways, but he's an idiot. But we all love him. Thomas, you're a hoe. Kevin says, how do you feel about DE not including a preview all function in decorating? What do you mean? You already know that I want that. Finini says, when are you going to do a raid with me? Pretty soon here. Let's do my first Deepstone Crypt, if you're okay with being in a video, and see how horrible that goes if you're willing to let me figure it out. Horatius says, what is ball? Why is ball? How is ball? Ball is ball. How much did the cow onesie cost? Asking for a friend. Ask Thomas. I don't fucking know. He's the one who sent it to me. Rasim says, how long did it take you to master decoration? I don't think anyone ever does. You just learn to either not make shit or you don't and make shit. Pretty much, there's always something that everyone misses. The first couple months when I was decorating, people were always like, oh, you're doing so good. And I was like, ah. But basically, it wasn't until like 2 or 3 months after I started decorating that I learned that rotation snap was a thing. And I was so embarrassed once I realized, but it's such a useful thing. And there's always something like that for everyone. And so I admit I'm not the god of decorating. I miss stuff too. But that's kind of why I ended up making the basics video, because I think the thing that most people missed was constrained movement on local and just not realizing what it was or what it could do for clipping. And I just wish more people would take a moment to just swallow the pride and say like, hey, you know what, fuck it, I missed it. Here. Kenny says, what is your favorite loaf? And yes, I am serious. It's not the fucking fat loaf, so quit posting that. Jesus. Anarchy says, besides Orican rings being your favorite dojo decoration, what is your second favorite to use in a general build? I would say, I don't know. I really enjoy infested decorations. I think they're really, really versatile, but not enough people mess with them. Sanguine says, do you lift? And are you a 5'7", 80-kilogram femboy with cat ears and nose piercings? No, I'm hair over 6'6", 90-kilogram, whatever this is. I don't have cat ears. I do have a cow onesie, and I don't have nose piercings, so forgive me. Also, are you single? I need it for homework. Enel says, who is your favorite Pokemon? Probably Palkia. I remember when my brother and I were significantly younger and we got Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. I obviously got Pearl, so I got stuck with the broken-ass Palkia, and I remember just spanking his Dialga every single time. No matter what else he threw at me, I just destroyed it. Jake, you might not remember it happening like that, but that is how it went down. Cephalon Storm asks, what is your favorite not good but fun build or Warframe or weapon? I would say that's between our... kind of between Mag and Baruch. They're both good in certain scenarios. Baruch is a lot better than he used to be, but when he first came out, he was not that great. And I don't know, he was just one that I found entertaining to use. Do you like doing in Warframe outside of decorating? Borma. Cephalon Storm says, where can I get one of these cow onesies you speak of? Ask Thomas. Satan says, if you could live as anyone in the world for a day, who would it be and what would you do? I don't know, I'd get someone who has a full head of hair and then like really long locks. And just wherever I could, go around and just hair toss. Oh, yes. But alas, I just have my fuzzy head. Malvarez says, when are you going to make another Destiny 2 room? When are you going to remake all of Destiny 2 in a dojo? When I can get paid for it like a full-time job and not want to blow my own brains out afterwards. Demodor says, would you want to judge on which dojos should be featured? Yes and no. I think I would definitely want to pitch in on what criteria they should focus on when they're judging. But everyone and their dog already fucking hates the people that are judging the contest, but you don't even know who they are. So if I were to do it, then it'd just be different name but the same game. You would just fucking hate me, and I would judge off my own criteria, which not everyone would agree with, and that's just how that would go. Like, I don't know what you would expect. Why is your Nick so purple? Because purple is fantastic. If you know Penitence, he's a big advocate of red and black. I'm a big advocate of purple and black. That's how we work. What was your first ever attempt at decorating? If you've ever seen Soul Eater, it was a very, very shitty first attempt at learning decoration as I went at Excalibur, you know, the fools. My legend dates back to the 12th century, you know? How much Arxium have you farmed? Enough. What is your favorite Warframe in terms of What is your favorite Warframe in terms of aesthetics, and why is it Saren? Saren isn't all that great. I think you're just too focused on the booty, in which case go to Wisp. But I would say that's between Mag and I don't know. I actually really like Revenant's aesthetic. I think he's pretty nice. Why didn't Kaukawai win the naming contest? Dude, Horacius, did you not see Moo 2? For a second clan name, that is fucking perfect, and the emblem is Nightmare Fuel, and that's exactly what I needed. Have you ever considered streaming funny moments from other games than Warframe and Destiny? Yes. Admittedly, I have kind of been more focused on Warframe since I'm trying to push for creator status in that department, but I do want to start looking at other games besides Warframe and Destiny. We'll kind of have to see how that goes. I do have a lot of footage for Dark Souls content that I need to go through and edit, which I'm sure Thomas is going to give me hell for if I keep reading through these questions, but we'll kind of have to see how that goes. And it's kind of harder to work on something else when I know that there is literally no demand for it. Like when I made the Dark Souls video that I did, I think it got like 80 views, and then I push out one video that's anywhere dojo related, and it's like 600 plus, and gives me watch time and stuff. But I don't know. We'll kind of have to see how that goes. I do want to though, yes. Not Random Fifth says, according to this article, cows and bees both benefit from living together in the same area. As a cow, how do you feel about bees? You know what? As Vash, I despise bees. I fucking hate them, okay? But, hold on. As a cow, I'm okay with them. What made you expand the clan to Storm rank, and is there an end goal to it? I would say, basically, I don't want to have a clan where I'm just decorating and it's just empty. Like, I would like to have some form of community, and Storm is kind of just an experiment to see if we can find people with enough brain cells to help contribute and recruit. And then if we can maintain it as a Storm clan, then looking at Moon is definitely not out of the question. But that's definitely going to require more than just myself and Odin to be recruiting. But we'll kind of see how that one goes. Can you narrate Vor's speech for us? Look at them. They come to this place when they know they are not pure. Tenno used the keys, but they are mere trespass. Enel says, who is your favorite evolution? The kind that doesn't make you ever ask that question. Wombo says, do you freeze bread? I do, but only when I have to. Otherwise, no, never. Why are you such a handsome boy? Dude, you didn't even know what I looked like prior to this video. So what the fuck do you even mean? Enel says, marry, sex, and kill between Wombo, Phantoman, and Voltage. We cannot blame these creatures. They are being led by a false prophet. Phanto would probably be a good wife. I think Voltage would be the fling, and then Wombo, you're dead. Sorry. World says, where did you buy your soothing voice, and how can I get one for myself? They're $20 on Amazon. Fuck off. Bizem says, if you are given a power to decide on what improvements or quality of life changes you would want in the current dojo decor scene, what would they be? I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing with DE right now. Granted, not everything that I want is going to work, and vice versa, but I can't talk about it. He also says, I have learned several bugs and exploits. There aren't exploits in a dojo, there's only workarounds. Because of your tutorial videos, I especially loved the dry dock skybox and the character code inputs on the text tutorial. Do we expect some video tutorial of that kind coming anytime soon? Yes and no. So basically, I'm kind of waiting because I know that there are dojo changes coming, some of which will be quite cool, some of which are going to definitely need videos, some of which are going to involve some tricks and stuff. So I'm kind of waiting for these changes because I'm going to have to update my basics video. I'm going to have to update a lot of stuff. And so basically, once these dojo changes start hitting, you should be expecting a lot of different tutorial videos. So yes, but no, because until that happens, I'm probably not going to be making a whole lot of tutorial videos. But we'll see in the coming months how that plays out. I have trouble navigating in decor mode in open space rooms. Is there a tutorial on how you work around in that area? I don't have a tutorial, but that's definitely, I guess that wouldn't be a bad thing to make. I can definitely do that. Maybe in the next 2 weeks, I'll pop out something like that. We'll see. If you have a Twitch channel after your face reveal, I'll gladly watch it and follow it. I've considered getting into Twitch. Basically, I feel kind of weird about that, but I also kind of felt weird about starting YouTube, but it's kind of working out okay so far. Granted, I'm not getting paid for any of this. I don't know, would you guys want to see me just ramble and be an absolute dipshit playing games? Like, is that something you would want to watch? Because I feel like watching my videos is like watching paint dry, but then there's still 1,000 of you who are subscribed, and that doesn't make any fucking sense to me, but it is what it is. I guess comment in the little bits below and let me know if you would want to look at Twitch with me, I guess. We'll see. Jekandor asks, what franchises other than Warframe and Destiny do you consider yourself to be a fan of, and to what degree? Fuck. I really liked Diablo 3. That's what I was playing before I got into Warframe a couple years ago. Before that, I was full-time job into Ark. We've all been there, and we all just kind of share that shame. But I was way too into Ark back then. From where do you get your inspirations the most? I would say it's usually while I'm watching some show or playing some game at like 2 a.m. because that's when all shitty fucking ideas happen, and dojo decorating is usually a shitty fucking idea. And then I'll be looking at something and I'm like, ooh, I could probably make this decoration work for that. And then I spend like 6 to 8 hours decorating after that and don't sleep and just hate myself and I'm miserable after. But I don't know. It kind of depends. I also scroll through Pinterest. It just basically whatever I see and happen to like, then I'll usually try and make it. But yeah. Veracity says, do you know of and or like Warhammer 40k? I don't really know about it, no. I've looked into getting into it because some of it seems kind of cool, but it seems like there's a lot to know, and I don't even know where to start. It's like looking at the Fate series, and it's just this clusterfuck. Have I seen Astartes? Yes. It looked pretty cool. I didn't understand any of it or what it was doing, but it looked and sounded great. Phanto says, win OnlyFans? No. Kevin says, how do you feel about people that don't use boosters besides the ones from the daily logins and don't use ribbons, as they are trying to play the game as it was intended? Okay, well, first off, purple card is bad. Joke's on you. And then second off, boosters are intended. They are a function of the game. The only thing I think is that you're using twice as long to farm something out as someone else. And the only person laughing then, sure as hell isn't you. Demo says, why do people not listen to you? Because they don't think I can help them. I'm definitely not the god of decorating, but I have gone through a fair bit of stuff to make sure that for the most part, I do know what I'm talking about on dojo shit. So, I don't know. Everyone's prideful, myself included. Slothman says, how do I make friends without having high MR? You don't. Rank up, you scrub. Malvarus says, introvert or extrovert? It depends on if I'm at work or not. If I'm home, then I can't be fucked to go out and do anything. But if I'm at work, then I will be the most happy, chipper, extroverted person you've ever met. Odin says, when will I be free? Favorite game that isn't Warframe? I don't know. I need to play some of the newer games and see what I can find, because it's been too long since I've played anything else, to be honest. And it's probably a bad thing. That G says, where where do you see yourself 3 to 5 years from now, and what do you think you'll be doing? Hopefully I'm going back to school at that point and finishing off a degree. That would be quite nice. Will you be making tips and how-to Captura videos as well? I don't know. I'm not sure. I've never really tampered with the domain of Captura stuff. I'm not sure if I even should. I don't see like a benefit to that or a high enough demand. I guess I could look into it later. We'll kind of have to see. Zelda says, how soft are your lips, and can you tuck me into bed with a forehead kiss and read me a bedtime story? Well, you'll just have to find out for yourself, Zelda. Malvarus says, have you ever played a Metroid game? I want to say that the one Metroid game that I did play, I'm trying to remember the name. It was on GameCube way back in the day, and I want to say it was called Metroid Prime Echoes. There was like some Dark Samus or some shit. I remember it being really fun, but I hardly remember it at all. If you can think of like a Metroid game that I can play on PC, let me know and I'll look into it. Fanto says, where is the mech? It's not here. It's not here yet, Fanto. Don't keep pestering me. Sorry. Chrysium Cypher says, have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons? If yes, what is your favorite class? If no, do you plan on trying? I have not played D&D. I've thought about getting into it. I feel like I would need a really good group of friends to embarrass myself with. Kind of. I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to trying it, but I feel like there's a lot to get into there. But I don't know. Maybe in the future, we'll see. When are you going to ban Odin's? Never. He has way too much work to do for me. What is your favorite meme of all time? Hey, it's your boy, Skinny Penis. Oh, sure enough. Thomas says, when are you going to edit the Dark Souls content? Probably when I have time to, and there's like a demand for it that isn't piddly. Compared to other things, the Dark Souls video I made was like 80 views, and that was just so sad. Because it did take a second of time to edit that. So Malvar says, what do you want to achieve with the community this year? I mean, I can definitely get to 2K subs this year. I don't think that's an issue, considering we got to 1K in the last 4 months. The conundrum with that is basically I'm not getting paid for any of this. I did get to 1K subscribers, but there's still a whole lot of other criteria that I have to meet in order to get to YouTube partner, so that way it can even become monetized. So everything I've been doing up until now has been for free. And I've lost time and money working on this crap. But basically, in those 4 months, I made 50 videos, and that was an average of 1 video every 2.5 days. And just between trying to juggle everything that I am, I can't always do that. And so, I don't know. We'll kind of have to see how this year goes. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't really have a concrete goal that I want by the end of this year, but I guess we will just kind of play it by ear. Breakshius says, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Demodor says, how much do I need to pay you to start your OnlyFans? Okay, you know what? You give me $1,000 and I will let you see my belly button. I don't get why you horny fuckers keep asking for OnlyFans, because I am relatively bald and hairy. I don't know what you want from that, so you should calm down. Aaron says, how do you avoid burnout? Basically, when I'm not dojo decorating, I am playing the base game, and then when I'm not playing the base game, I'm dojo decorating. So I kind of alternate between those two. If I can't find satisfaction to any degree between both of them, then I will go and play like Destiny 2. But yeah, it kind of varies, but mostly just alternating between actually playing the game and decorating. Are there any failed projects you couldn't make and are very sad about? Yes and no, because the things that I abandoned are things that I recognize that no matter what I did would look like shit. So I'm sad not because I had to abandon it, but sad because it would have looked like shit either way, and it was better off not being made. Kind of like everything that people make with Oricon rings. Kevin says, what sports and activities would you have loved to have tried if you were not as tall as the Burj Khalifa building? Okay, Kevin, just because you're short as fuck doesn't mean you have to point out how tall I am. But I'm not really sure. I still wouldn't have done basketball regardless of my height, because fuck basketball. I wouldn't have tried football. The only sport that I really got into was swimming, and being tall was an advantage there. It wasn't working against me. So I would probably just do swimming again, even if I were shorter. But yeah. Do you miss the Xenomorph Dragon or the Armored Loki room and any of the old dojo decorations that you made? Yes and no. I kind of miss them for the nostalgia factor. But looking back at old stuff that I've built versus stuff that I've built now, basically you can see this significantly large difference in what you made then versus now. And just being able to see that improvement is actually kind of cool. But I don't really miss them because I feel like for the most part I have made better than all of those already. But yeah. Are you going to try longboarding at least once? Yes, when I'm okay with eating shit on the asphalt. Santos says, are you a cow or a human? G says, will there be merch? Do you guys even want merch? Like, what's the fucking point? You want a kawaii mug? Do you want it on a t-shirt? For what? Where are you even gonna wear that shit? Someone's gonna look at that and say, look, someone used MS Paint with their fingers and, I don't know, made a fucking cow. Where do you want that stuff? What kind of merch would we even make? I guess I could probably look into it. Patreon probably offers it for some exorbitant amount for their own cut. Let me know, I guess. Will you start a school or online classes for aspiring Tenno architects and orbiter/dojo interior designers? Probably not, but if I did, the tuition would cost you out the ass. Veracity says, what is your opinion on Cyberpunk 2077? Probably should have been delayed more. G says, do you play The Sims or would you like to? I don't know. I feel like I'm playing Sims enough myself. I'm waiting for this mattress to finish expanding so that way I can actually have a bed instead of sleeping on the floor. And then I'm playing real life Sims. I'm having a good enough time with that. Demodor says, for who do you simp? Not your fat ass. Rasim says, why do you sound like a reporter speaking with a steady tone when describing a disaster? I don't know. Padre Odin says, first, what would you do if you got trapped in an Orokin ring world? I would attempt to blow my brains out promptly, realize that it was only an Orokin ring and I can't, then I would hang myself with it instead. Second, does your cow give chocolate milk? No? Third, when will you do another decoration contest? If you're talking about joining another DE, like featured dojo contest, I don't know yet. We'll kind of have to see. I don't know. I want to add some more things before I enter another one. If you're talking about when will I host one myself, kind of like the Loki statue contest, that's going to be actually pretty soon here. I'm talking with some people about that. I'll post some details on that later. Weston says, how did you meet your building buddies? Basically, when any dojo decorator does something cool, they usually take a picture of it and then they post it elsewhere, be it on like a Discord or the Warframe subreddit, to help reaffirm their tiny penis. And so I've done that. Fanto has done that. A whole bunch of other people have done that as well. And so we have kind of just gotten together to form the Skinny Penis Coalition. Penitence is there too. He doesn't quite fit in though because he's just massive. Kinito says, what is your favorite ice cream color? And I would probably say Rocky Road. That shit's fantastic. Gaspard says, have you ever considered making dojo tours for community dojos chosen on PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox Warframe in the future? They would make a nice addition to the channel, showing off what's possible. I mean, if I had like a spare Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo Switch to dig around on, I guess I could look into it. I don't feel like it'd be very advantageous for me to do that though. And I say that because Switch contest participation is so bloody poor that they have not once had a full roster for Switch participation ever. They always have to improvise for Switch participation. Xbox frequently misses out on like Moon Clans and stuff. PS4 I think would be worthwhile to look into if I could, if I had the PlayStation to even do that with. And I feel like I'd need to get the new PlayStation 5 because better quality for videos, but I don't know. Basically, if I had to rank the priority in which I would do that, I would say it's PC, PS4, then Xbox, then Switch. But yeah, probably not right now. Brady says, do you love me? No. Jennifer says, why are you so averse to Orokin rings? Is it a PTSD from childhood? Yes, a robber broke in and beat me over the head with an Orokin ring repeatedly. No, it's just they're overused, they're oversaturated, they look like shit. Someone posts Orokin rings in a hallway and just spreads them out and thinks that that suffices when it doesn't. It looks like complete and utter ass. And just I don't understand. They're always out of place wherever they're used, unless they happen to be integrated into the structure itself. It never looks good. Just don't. Okay, so I will probably be including a face cam whenever we do the featured dojo visits going forward. We'll kind of have to see about that one, but aside from that, I don't think I'll be including it on tutorials. If you like this video to any sort of degree, let me know, because this is incredibly awkward for me to make, but I don't know. And to answer the questions that were asked earlier, if you guys want to see a Twitch thing start with me, let me know below and I can look into that. And then if you actually want to look into merch, which I think is kind of weird, but if you guys want it, I can try and set it up. Let me know on that one too. But I guess we will see how this goes. Thank you to everyone who has been supportive of this, and the kind words, the comments, all of it. You know, I do go through and read everything that you guys say, even if it may not seem like it. But yeah, we will kind of have to see how that goes. The applications for Warframe creator status still are not open, but I will apply to that. We will see how it goes. So,
an impostor who knows not the secrets of the void. Behold the Tenno, come to scavenge and desecrate this sacred realm. My brothers, did I not tell of this day? Did I not prophesize this moment? Now I will stop them. Now I am changed, reborn through the energy of the Yanis key. Forever bound to the void, let it be known. If the Tenno want true salvation, they will lay down their arms and wait for the baptism of my Yanis key. It is time. I will teach these trespassers the redemptive power of my Yanis key. They will learn its simple truth. The Tenno are lost, and they will resist, but I, Vor, will cleanse this place of their impurity.